Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Not a very good series at home against the St. Louis Cardinals at all. Wouldn't say a very bad series, but a bad series. Some good news out of the series. John Means did start a game. He started Tuesday's game. And while he didn't fare too well, he does look to be okay moving forward. As okay as in his arm still works and can throw a baseball. But let's get to the first game. And as you can see, I'm on massinsports.com. Here is the box score. First game, Monday's game. St. Louis Cardinals 5, Baltimore Orioles 11 from Camden Yards. Rutschman, Henderson batting 1-2. We've been pretty consistent with this. Doesn't matter, rest or whatnot. The only real difference is when there's a lefty on the mound, Henderson gets moved down a bit, and Mountcastle gets slotted in at number 2 spot, which will probably change. Rutschman 1 for 3, walked twice, scored twice. Tongue-tied already. Gunnar Henderson 3 for 5, 1 RBI, scored 3 times. Oh, and forgot to mention, because this is new, be sure to like and subscribe. Trying to ask that in early parts of the video, just in case people, are turning the video off sooner, or with the, play next automatically maybe cutting me off or something. All right, back into it. Santander, Ofer, did walk once. Ryan O'Hearn, 1 for 4, 1 RBI. Substitution late, Austin Hayes into the outfield, went in the left field, and Hicks, who had started in left field, made his first start in Camden Yards in the new left field. Played okay out there. Austin Hayes 1 for 1, 2 RBIs. Mountcastle, Ofer, did walk twice and score once. Cedric Mullins, 2 for 3, 4 RBIs. Scored twice, walked once. Mullins was a grand slam. Like to see that. Hicks, 3 for 4, scored twice. Surprising that waiver claims like Hicks and Webb contribute a lot to this team. Frazier, 1 for 3, 1 RBI, also walked once. Arias 1 for 4 with an RBI. Orioles took 7 free passes this game. It's nice to see them being more patient. Though to a certain extent, there are times where you need to be aggressive. But it's nice to see, and it's very good to see that you struck out 3 times as a team, but you walked 7 times. So you're not being too aggressive, but, with all the RBIs, you are taking advantage of good pitches to hit. Hicks, O'Hearn doubles, Mullins, Henderson, home runs. And as I said, Mullins was a grand slam. Webb did have a throwing error. Disappointing, but happens. Pitchers don't usually feel that well. Dean Kramer got the start in this one. Not that great of a start for him. I do sense that, at least with Kramer, Bradish a little bit, I think, and maybe even Grayson Rodriguez, they are at career highs for innings pitched. So there's definitely some fatigue here. I'm not necessarily trying to say arm fatigue, like that's more of an injury, but I'm just saying It's been a long and exhausting season. Kramer went 4 1/3 of an inning, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 walks, only struck out 2. It's not great at all. DL Hall pitched 1 1/3 in relief of Kramer, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, struck out 1. So, at times, DL Hall has looked, in my opinion, he's looked overwhelmed on the mound, but still showing the ability to actually go out there and pitch, which just being overwhelmed is more being overwhelmed in the moment. You're used to pitching in the minor leagues where the games don't matter that much. Now you're up here in the big leagues in a playoff chase where you're fighting for the top seed in the American League. Yeah, I mean, the moments are going to get big for you, man. It's going to be hard to handle, especially for young guys. Webb, 1 inning in relief after DL Hall, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, didn't strike anybody out. Jorge Lopez pitches 2/3 of an inning, does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, also doesn't strike anybody out. Danny Coulomb, 2/3 of an inning in relief, also gives up a hit, but like before, no runs, no walks, didn't strike anybody out. Shintaro Fujinami, really trying to show that he can handle the last inning or inning few back end of the game. He can handle the back end of the game. 8th inning, 9th inning, 10th inning, which you really want. Lost Batista. Don't know if he's coming back. I think the update is partial tear of the UCL. Not sure that he's. I think the team is still holding out hope that he can pitch again this season, but I don't know. Not with a partial tear. I don't think so. All right, back to Fujinami. Pitches the 9th inning. Does give up a hit, but no runs. Did walk 1. Also struck 1 out. You really like to see here. Wait, where's the other one? Okay, there it is. Pitching staff only gives up 5 runs. 6th inning, 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, you shut the Cardinals down. It's fantastic. Starter didn't give you too much length. Bullpen really needed to pick it up, and they did so. Monday's game. Let's check out Tuesday's game. Not the same case here. St. Louis Cardinals 5, Baltimore Orioles 2. As you can see, the 2 spot right here in the 7th inning. Though that wasn't the deciding factor. Rutschman 1 for 3. Walked twice, scored once. Henderson 2 for 4. Walked once, scored once. Santander 2 for 5. 1 RBI. O'Hearn technically had an offer, but he did drive a run in. He beat out a double play, a potential double play, I think. That's what it was. I think he beat out a potential double play. Mountcastle in late to pinch hit. Took a walk. Cedric Mullins, 0 Austin Hayes, 2 for 4. Frazier, 1 for 3. Ramon Arias pinch hit late in the game, 0 for 1. Jordan Westberg, who seems to be a regular starter now. It does seem that, as far as the infield goes, Westberg he's going to be a regular. I mean, he's playing very well. Guys like Ramon Arias, Adam Frazier, Jorge Mateo, you're going to see their playing time get cut a lot. They're honestly not hitting as well. Westberg definitely seems to be hitting well and coming through in big moments. Westberg 1 for 3 with a walk. And as you can see here, he can play at least 2 positions on the infield, third base and second base. I'm almost certain he can play shortstop. Is he going to be the better option between Mateo or Henderson? Probably not. I don't think he would have as much range, but he could absolutely play it if he needed to. James McCann got to start behind the plate. Over. Santander, Hayes, Henderson, doubles. Not a whole lot going offensively. John Means started this game. His velocity looks to be okay. He's got about a 93, 94 mile an hour fastball that is about what he had. He's not pitching inside too much. I think some of that is because he's not that used to pitching in a major league game. Yeah, I mean, he hadn't done it in a long time. So the fact that he can come out to the mound and throw 94 mile an hour fastball, the problem with that is because this was his first game back, he probably had a little bit extra juice. So I look for maybe the fastball in the rest of his appearances this year, probably average 92 or 93, which I think is 1 or 2 miles an hour below. But we'll see in another 4 days. About another 4 days. Because it does look like they're going to go with this 6-man rotation. John Means being the 6th man. Unless they decided to go for a 5-man rotation and maybe take somebody else out, give them a break. Like, say, maybe Kramer. Jorge Lopez pitches 1 2/3 of an inning in relief of John Means. Let me get to John Means' line. John Means went 5 innings. He threw 75 pitches, 55 of them for strikes. So, while you see he did give up 5 hits and 3 runs, he didn't walk anybody. So, the accuracy looks to be there. The control, the accuracy really looks to be there. Now, as far as setting up hitters for strikeouts or ground balls and such and so forth, it's because he did give up a home run to Paul Goldschmidt, right? Yes, Paul Goldschmidt. Which lots of pitchers give up home runs to him, so it's okay. 1 strikeout. It's a little low for John Means. Again, trying to get a feel for things, so I think that number is going to go up. I sure hope so. Jorge Lopez comes in relief of John Means, 1 2/3 of an inning. Gives up 1 hit. Does give up 2 runs. Walks 1, strikes out 2. Palacios, I'm probably pronouncing that terribly. For the St. Louis Cardinals, hits 1 home run off of Means and 1 home run off of Lopez. And Goldschmidt also a home run. Really, the only runs there. I mean, you cut those home runs out, and I think Nootbaar's the only one that gets an RBI there. So, work in progress, I guess. Perez finishes off the 7th inning for Jorge Lopez. Does give up a hit, but he does get the outs. The out. And the 7th inning ends, and Cole Irvin takes over the rest of the way, pitching 2 innings. Perez closed out the 7th. Cole Irvin pitches the 8th and the 9th. Only gives up 2 hits. Doesn't give up a run or a walk. Does strike out 1. Now, sadly, because he threw, and how many pitches did he throw? 32 pitches. He is probably the least fresh guy out there. So that means he got sent down. And, oh God, Vespi was recalled. And that's really just, we see, didn't get any length from Kramer. didn't get any length from John Means. You're going to need somebody in the bullpen to eat some innings up, especially with this series with the Rays coming up. All right, Game 3, Wednesday's game. I was there last night. Well, the game went very fast. That was the good thing. The bad thing is St. Louis Cardinals won, Baltimore Orioles nothing. Oh, there were lots of bad things in this game. One, this Palacios guy hit another home run. Nobody else is hitting the ball anywhere. There were 7 hits total. This guy hits a home run. Gunnar Henderson did get a big hit late, and I mean late, and he hit it out there where the bullpen is, but just to the left of the bullpen, so it kind of got into that new little nook or corner there with the Great Wall of Baltimore and the bullpen there. If you hit it like 2 inches to the right, it would have been a home run. Sometime the wall giveth, and sometime the wall taketh away. Very disappointing. Rutschman DH'd Ofer. Mountcastle, he did walk once, and as you can see, only 1 at-bat because somewhere on one of the swings during the at-bat, he felt some discomfort in his shoulder. What exactly is wrong with him? Don't know. Ramon Arias came into the game. He went in there at first base. He did play first base a little bit. He has played first base before, so it was fine. Ramon Arias 0 for 2 with a walk. Santander 1 for 4. Austin Hayes 0 for, walked once. Jordan Westberg 0 for. Cedric Mullins pinch hit late 0 for 1. Sensing a theme here. Gunnar Henderson 1 for 4. You see he started the game at third base, was moved to shortstop later in the game. 1 for 4. He hit a triple with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Very disappointing. Santander, actually, his only hit was a double, and the Orioles just couldn't move him around. Aaron Hicks played the whole game in center field, 0 for. Did walk once. James McCann, 0 for. Jorge Mateo, 1 for 1 and a walk. And as you can see, O'Hearn pinch hit late and then was moved to first base, and then Arias moved over to third, and then Henderson over to shortstop. The problem I have with this I know how Brandon Hyde loves to play matchups. Because at this point, there was a right-handed pitcher on the mound. I know Brandon Hyde loves to play the matchups when pinch hitting, and he loves to use his pinch hitters. But to this point, Mateo was the only player that got on base twice. At this point that he pinch hit Ryan O'Hearn in for Mateo, the Orioles only had one other hit, and it was Santander. They only had a few other walks, so why are you taking out the only guy that got on base twice? Why? I understand you think, oh, Ryan O'Hearn is a very good pinch hitter. He's a very good hitter. He has power, especially to right field. It's a little shorter over there. He could probably get us a home run. Maybe, potentially. I felt like the game was going a certain way. Drew Rom, which I haven't gotten to pit the Cardinals pitching side yet. Drew Rom, who was in the Orioles organization, was in the Jack Flaherty trade, is somewhat of a junk baller. He throws about a 92-mile-an-hour fastball and everything else between a slider or a sweeper which I think was about 84 miles an hour, and a sinker was about 89 miles an hour. Not much velocity at all. Really threw off the timing of Oriole hitters, except for Mateo. Mateo didn't seem like he was having a hard time seeing Drew Rom. Now, yes, you put in another pitcher and then maybe he's not going to get as many good at bats, but why? I mean, he's got the speed. I mean, he hits a ground ball. Most people, when they hit a ground ball to the infield, it's like a 25% chance, maybe even less, that they can be safe at first. With Mateo, it's not that because he's so damn fast. He hits a ground ball in the infield, and it's like a 65% chance that he's going to be safe. You need that. You need base runners. Turn the lineup over for Rutschman. But, however, I think I would have saved O'Hearn for pinch hitting in Mountcastle / Ramon Urias' spot, but that's just me. Santander double, Henderson triple, Mateo stolen base. Drew Rom actually pitched 5 1/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 hits, no runs. Did walk 3, struck out 7. I guess trying to explain it like this. Because of who the Baltimore Orioles have seen as an opposing pitcher, they have seen... Actually, I mean, a majority of Major League starting pitchers have a much higher fastball. So, if you think about it, seeing a fastball that's consistently at 92 and then a sinker that's even lower, it's almost like a pitcher throwing you a changeup in a sequence. So, between that and they look kind of tired. Very off balance. Definitely exhausted, but also off balance because they're just so used to not seeing a pitch that slow. Kyle Gibson, thankfully we did get length out of Kyle Gibson. 6 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 1 run, 3 walks. Not great. Struck out 4. You really hate to squander a good performance by a starting pitcher like this, but the Orioles did. They just couldn't get anything going offensively. Jacob Webb pitched an inning in relief of Gibson. No hits, no runs. Did walk 1, struck out 1. Dale Hall closed out the 8th inning. Again, here you go. Stacked some good performances. Did give up a hit, but no runs, no walks. Struck out 1. Fujinami closed the game. Didn't close out the game. Did pitch the 9th inning for the Orioles. Orioles were at home. No hits, no runs, no walks. 1 strikeout. Rom pitched 63. Through 63 strikes, 93 pitches. If we knew he was capable of that, what did we need Jack Flaherty for? Which, as hindsight, is 2020. I know that, but I was thinking that at the deadline. It's just there's no starting pitchers that are that good. Then why make trades? Unless you want to pay out the ass for Scherzer or Verlander, not a whole lot you can really do. All right, let's get to some articles. Mr. Rock Kubatko wrote this yesterday, September 13th. This was before Wednesday's game. Headline says it all. Orioles option Irving and recall Vespi. So Vespi was active for last night's game. Yeah, that's good. And then Here is an article that Rock Kubatko wrote today after Wednesday's game, but before the series coming up with the Tampa Rays. And here it does say more of an update on Felix Bautista, slight tear in his ulnar collateral ligament. He's playing catch, but I don't know how good that is. I mean, it's okay. Ryan Mountcastle did not join Felix on the injured list. They are going to keep Mountcastle around for the moment anyway. Heston Kjerstad has been called up, so we get to see another Major League debut, assuming he gets put into a game. Ryan McKenna was sent down. Taryn Vavra was actually recalled from Norfolk just to be transferred to the 68-day injured list to make room on the 40-man roster. Bryant Baker was also recalled from Norfolk, and Nick Vespi was optioned down. Yeah, that's it. All right. So just to try to get a read on who is in the bullpen can be very hard, which we'll take a look at the standings, and you can see Tampa Bay, and they're coming into town. Very close stretch race here. I almost expect there to be at least one more bullpen move within this series. You can see the Orioles lead in the East has dropped to 2 games. The Orioles are on a 2-game losing streak. Doesn't help. And most of the rest of the standings are fairly the same. Let's get onto the schedule and get out of here. We've got a game coming up in an hour or so. Today, Thursday, starts a 4-game set. The final set with the Tampa Bay Rays this year. The Orioles, what is this? 6-3 is what I heard yesterday. Orioles have 6 wins. Rays have 3 wins. So if the Orioles win 1 game, they will own the tie-breaking scenario. Because of all the wild card teams now, no tie-breaking games, okay? You got to go by records and records with your division rivals. So, owning the tiebreaker scenario by winning the season series is something you really want to do. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4-game set with the Rays, as I said. Okay. Thursday, tonight's game is scheduled for 7:15. Friday and Saturday's game are scheduled for 7:05. Okay. Sunday's game scheduled for 1:35. Y'all know there's football on, right? Like the Ravens are playing at 1 o'clock. Why are you got to be playing at 1 o'clock? Can't you play at like 4:30? Or maybe the Ravens could play later. What are the Ravens playing? They're playing the Bengals, so I feel like it should be a primetime game. I got to check the schedule on that. All right, let's get out of here. So, Monday will be the show for the Rays series. This is going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Be sure to like and subscribe. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.